Welcome to your Hatha Yoga practice for today. My name is Judith and I will be your guide for today. So we're going to start standing at the front of our mat. Feet are hip width apart. You can put 2 fists between your feet to measure the distance. We're also engaging Badrasana here, which is the 3 points of the foot, one behind the big toe, one behind the pinky toe, and one in the center of our heel. We try to find the middle of those 3 points by lifting our toes off the earth, swaying sides to sides, and then finding a spot when the weight is equal disturbed between the 3 points of the foot. You can also lift your toes up and then put them down on the ground as wide as possible. Those are yoga toes, which gives a very grounding, stable feeling to the posture. So coming into Uttanasana, knees have a micro bend, hips are square, belly is slightly engaged, ribs are tucked and relaxed, chest is slightly open and relaxed, shoulders are down and away from the ears, our arms are alongside our body, our palms can be open if you want a more of an activation of Anahata chakra. Our elbows are not locked, they have a slightly micro bend. Our neck is relaxed. We keep our chin tucked as we are keeping an apple or an orange between our chin and our chest. Face is relaxed. Our crown of our head is reaching towards the sky as there is a string on top attached, pulling you up and out of your hips. Your spine is nice and long and straight, and you're rooting down from your feet to your legs, to your spine, all the way to the crown of your head. Finding your breath here. During this practice, you can take Ujjayi breathing, which is breathing with a restriction in the back of our throat, or glottis muscles. It's like we're fogging a mirror or a glass, like this. But then instead with our mouth open, we do it with our mouth closed. I don't know if you can hear me from here, but it sounds something like this. So it's a restriction at the back of our throat when we inhale and exhale. So coming into Tadasana, finding your breath. Maybe scanning through your body where you might feel tension. Notice what arises for you in this moment. Remember that during this practice, I'm simply and just a guide for you. So if any of my suggestions or my verbal cues don't feel right to you for your body at the moment, you can always do something else, do something that feels better for you in that moment. Knowing that you have agency over your body and you only know what's best for your body. It's your practice and your body. Knowing that you can also press pause and come back when you feel you're ready to. Finding your breath here, breathing deeply. Maybe taking some big sighs to release some stagnant energy. One more. Breathing deeply into the nose and sighing it out through the mouth. Taking a slightly wider stance with your feet. Your knees are slightly bent. Taking our hands on our chest. On an inhale, we bring our right hands to the right side of the room. Inhale, we find length, and exhale, bending the knees, we twist towards the right side, the back of the room. Hips are staying as square as possible. We're twisting from the core. Here we're breathing into the right side of Anahata Chakra. This is our yang side, or our solar side of Anahata Chakra. It's our ability to receive, to give love, not to receive love. It's our ability to give love, not only to others, to the universe, but also to give love to ourselves. Inhale, finding length and unwinding. And we put our left arm to the left side. We inhale, we find length, and exhale, we twist from the core towards the back of the room, keeping that bend in the knees to protect the knees. Breathing deeply into the left side of Anahata Chakra, the yin side or lunar side. Here we have the ability to receive love. Breathing deeply. On an inhale, unwind. And on an exhale, we twist again towards the right side. And then we twist to the left side. And then to the right side again, alternating between two sides. On each exhale, we twist, and on each inhalation, we come back to center. Keeping that micro bend in the knees. You can also speed up the movement, following your breath. You can close your eyes or keep a soft gaze. Maybe you can make the movement a little bit more dynamic. Like so. Having our inhalation a little bit more passive and pushing the exhalation out. You can also have a slight stabbing on your chest. Going on your own pace, following your breath, knowing that you don't have to move as fast as I am right now. You can move as slow as you need to. And then slowly unwinding, coming back to center. Taking a moment in stillness to perceive the energy. Notice what is arising with you. Notice what maybe has changed. And stepping back into Tadasana. On an inhalation, we lift our left arm up to the sky. Left pinky is turned in. We inhale and we find length in the spine. And on an exhalation, we bend towards the right side. Our left arm is stacked on top of our right ear, left ear. And we keep a micro bend in the left elbow. Our right hand can be on our belly, on our hips, or above the knee, but never on the knee. Breathing deeply, engaging the core slightly. Inhale, find length, and exhale, unwind. We inhale, we lift our right hand up to the sky. Pinky is turned in, micro bend in the right elbow. We inhale, find length, and we exhale, we bend towards the left side, taking the same hand variation with our other hand as we did on the other side. Breathing deeply into the core, making sure you keep a micro bend in the knees. And we're not leaning too much forward or not too much back, but we're bending towards the left side. Gaze can be soft or eyes closed. You can look up or down. Inhale, find length, and exhale, unwind. We bring our hands on top of our knees, above our knees, and we're drawing circles with our knees. You can use your breath as a guide, inhaling as you come forward and exhaling as you go back. Changing directions. Going back to center. Breathing deeply. And on inhale, we find length into our neck. And on exhale, we put our chest to our chin. Inhale, left ear to left shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, right ear to right shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. Alternating between two sides. Stretching the neck. On each inhalation, we rise to one side, and each exhalation, we come back to center. Finding your breath here, letting yourself be guided by your breath. Breathing deeply. And slowly coming back to center. Taking a moment. Breathing deeply. Taking our feet a little bit wider. We're going to do something called line spreads. So we inhale and we squeeze every single muscle in our body. We hold our breath. And on an exhalation, we bend our knees and we flick our arms back and we stick our tongue out. And while we stick our tongue out, we also gaze towards the middle of the forehead. So inhale, squeeze, hold your breath, hold, 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 and exhale. Inhale, squeeze, holding everything, everything is tight, and exhale. A few more times on your own pace. Slowly coming back to center. Back into Uttanasana. Finding your breath here. Notice what remains. Notice what has changed. Feeling the energy moving through the body. And slowly We're going to step to the front of our mats, back into Uttanasana. We're putting our hands into prayer mudra, the center of our chest, pressing the thumbs into the center of the heart, connecting to the middle of the chest with our heart space. Bring your awareness to the middle of the chest, taking some time to let your intention or your sankalpa arise for this practice. Can something be like, I am present, I am in my heart, or maybe just, I am, I exist. And if your sankalpa arises, repeating it internally 3 times in the present tense. On our inhalation, we bring our arms overhead, arms spread wide, offering our prayer up to the sky, to the universe, trusting that it will unfold. Staying here for a few more breaths. You can take a slight back bend in your back if you like. Inhaling deeply into the center of the chest. Inhale, find length, and exhale, we bend and we come into forward fold, Uttanasana. We go and sway here, side to side. You can bend your knees as much as you need to. Swaying side to side, you can keep your hands on the floor, or you can grab opposite elbows. Maybe shaking your hand no. This brings us into the parasympathetic nervous system. This allows our body to rest and digest. Deep belly breaths, coming into stillness. Putting your hands flat on the floor, bending your knees as deeply as you need to bring your hands on the floor. Keeping a micro bend in the knees, tailbone is reaching up to the sky, and your spine is long and straight. So we're not banana backing, or we're not rounding our spine too much here. Our chin is tucked and relaxed, neck is relaxed. Inhale, we breathe telluric earth energy into the feet, all the way up to our spine. And as we exhale, we breathe it all out, back into the earth through the hands. Inhale, earth energy coming in the feet, all the way into our spine, our body. And on exhalation, we breathe it all back out through the hands into the earth. Long, deep breaths, connecting with the earth energy. Inhale, breathing in telluric energy, and exhaling, offering it back to the earth. Letting every asana become a meditation. One more deep breath here. And exhale, we step into plank. Hands are stacked underneath our shoulders. Our core is slightly engaged. We can draw a line from our heels towards our shoulders. We're not tipping our hips not too much down or not too much in the air, but we keep a long straight spine. Exhale, knee, chest, chin. On an inhalation, we come into baby cobra, making sure you're not putting too much pressure on your wrists, but you can lift your spine up without pressing your hands in the air, without pressing your hands in the mat. Inhale and exhale, coming into downward facing dog here. Taking some time to pedal out your legs. Taking some deep releasing breaths through the mouth. On our next inhalation, we bend our knees, we look towards the top of our mat, and we step or hop to the top. Inhale, finding length. Exhale, folding forwards. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Bring your hands up to the sky. And exhale, coming back to center. One more time here. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, folding forwards. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, stepping into plank. Knees, chest, chin. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, coming into downward facing dog. Spine is nice and long. Tailbone is reaching up towards the sky. Your knees can be as much bent as you need. Inhale, we bend our knees and we jump towards the top of our mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. And exhale, bring your hands back to the chest. Finding your breath here. Reconnecting with your heart space. Reconnecting with your sankalpa. Bring our hands to our hips. We inhale and we step our right leg to the back. Feet are hips width apart. Hips are square and facing forwards. You can either stay here with your hands or clasp your hands together. Grab opposite wrists or opposite elbows. Engaging the core. Inhaling, finding length in the spine, and exhale, we fold forward over top of our left leg. Hips stay square. Breathing deeply here. Staying long and straight in the spine. Inhale, we find length, and exhale, we come back up. Facing towards the back of our mat, coming into Parshvatanasana on the other side. Finding your Padabandha here. Hips stay square. Inhale, we find length in the spine, and exhale, we fold from the hips. Core is engaged and shoulders are lifting up and away from the ears. Making sure you keep a micro bend in the knee. Left hip is pulling forward while right hip is pulling back. One more deep breath here. Inhale, find length, and exhale, coming back up. Slowly turning back around, stepping towards the front of our mat. Bring hands at heart center again. Breathing deeply here. Inhale, we lift our arms back to the sky, and exhale, we fold forwards. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, we're stepping into plank. Coming into plank for a few breaths. Cultivating that fire element into Manipura chakra. Making sure you also keep a microbend in your elbows. Core is strongly engaged. Breathing deeply into the core, into the center of the navel. If this is too much for you, you can also place your knees on the ground and adjust yourself a little bit so you have a straight spine. You can also come on your wrists. A few more deep breaths here. Inhale, and we slowly come back down to the earth, coming into a belly Shavasana. Breathing deeply here, resting here on your belly for a few breaths, finding your connection with the earth. And then we slowly come into Sphinx Pose. Shoulders and elbows are stacked. Our arms are parallel with the long side of our mat, and our hands are flat on the ground, and our fingers are spread wide. Coming into Sphinx Pose, breathing deeply here. Shoulders are down and away from the ears. Chest is open. On your inhalation, you can straighten your arms and come into Pujangasana. You can place a prop underneath your pelvis or underneath your knees. Like so. If this is too much for you, you can also come onto your elbows into Sphinx Pose, knowing that one pose is not better than the other. I invite you to be as kind to yourself as you can, being kind to your body, kind to yourself, and listening to your body and yourself, what you need right now, today, in this moment. Shoulders are still down and away from the ears. Chest is open and slightly pulling forwards. Core is slightly engaged. Coming into meditation, into our Pujangasana. Breathing deeply into the center of the chest. Knowing that you can always come down into Sphinx Pose. and no pose is better than the other. Breathing deeply here. Long, deep breaths. One more deep inhalation. Exhale. And inhale, we slowly unwind. Coming back into our belly Shavasana for a moment. Breathing deeply here. On an inhalation, we come back into mini Cobra. And exhale, we lift our hips back into downward facing dog. Finding length here in the spine. Finding your breath here. On our next inhalation, we lift our right leg up to the sky. Hips are staying square, so our right hip is pulling towards the earth. Inhale and exhale, placing your right hand between your two hands, placing your left knee on the ground, coming into Anjaneyasana, low lunge. You can place your hands on the ground or on blocks, pulling your hips forwards. You can also place your hands on above your knee or out up in the air. If you do so, make sure that your pinkies are turned in. Breathing deeply here. Right hip is pulling back and left hip is pulling forwards. Shoulders are down and away from the ears, and chest is slightly open, chin is tucked. We also make sure that our knee is not swaying too much to the right or to the left, but that it's staying in a nice center with the middle toes. One more deep belly breath here. Then slowly we place our hands back on the ground or on blocks. We inhale, we find length into our spine, and exhale, we straighten our right leg, coming into Hanumanasana. So our hips are staying up in the air, our tailbone is pointing up. We're not sitting all the way back down on our heels. Spine is nice and long. We inhale, we find length, and we exhale and we fold with our chest towards our knee. Hips are square. Hands can be on the ground or on blocks. You can also place a prop underneath your knee if you have sensitive knees, or curl under your toes. Keeping a microbend in the right knee. Breathing deeply here. Coming into a place of surrender. Making sure you keep a long straight spine. Inhale, we come back into Anjaneyasana, low lunge, framing our right foot and lifting back into downward facing dog. Finding your breath here. Inhale, we bend our knees and we step or hop towards the front of our mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, left leg up to the sky. Left hip is pulling towards the earth, so our hips are square. Inhale, find length, and exhale, place your left foot between your hands. Right knee comes on the floor. Coming into Anjaneyasana on the left side. Striking the same position as you did on your first side. Remember that you can also place something underneath your knee or tuck your back toes to protect your knee. Finding your breath here. Remember to be kind to yourself and accept whatever that is arising right now. Breathing deeply here. Spine is nice and long. Chest is slightly open. Placing your hands back on the earth or on your blocks. Inhale, find length, and exhale, shifting your hips back, coming into Hanumanasana again. Straightening the left leg. Toes are pointing up towards the sky. Again, your hands can be on your blocks as high as you need to be. Knowing that falling as deeply as you can, coming with your chest against your knees is not the goal here. The goal is to listen to yourself and feeling what's right for you in your body. Knowing that how deeply you can go into a posture doesn't mean how advanced or how good you are. It's all about finding your connection and your presence and accepting every moment how it is. Accepting whatever that's arising for you. And being present with whatever is arising, remaining or going. A few more breaths here into Hanumanasana, making sure that your hips are square. Left hip is pulling back, right hip is pulling forward. Chest is nice and long. Chin is tucked. Deep breath in and exhale, coming back into Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Framing our left foot, lifting our hips, back into downward facing dog. Finding your breath here again, breathing deeply. Maybe shaking it out with your legs. Taking some releasing breaths. Taking a few moments here into downward facing dog. Breathing deeply. Knowing that your knees don't need to be straight. They can be bent as much as you need to. What is important here is that your back is nice and straight and long. So it can be helpful to point your tailbone to the sky and slightly engaging your core. Heels are reaching towards the earth, but they don't have to touch. Shoulders are down and away from the ears. Engaging our Hasta Bandha, the 4 points of the hands. Fingers are spread nice and wide. Microbend in the elbows. Arms and ears are stacked. Taking 2 more deep belly breaths here. Knowing that you can always come out of the pose. And then inhale, we bend our knees and we step or we jump back to the front of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Hands overhead. And exhale, hands back to our chest. Bring your awareness back to the center of your chest. Connecting with your Sankalpa again. Breathing deeply into your heart space. Finding your breath here. Long, deep inhalations and exhalations. Connecting with the space in the middle of the chest. Spreading our legs wider than hips distance apart. They can be as wide as your mat. Bring our hands in prayer mudra in the middle of the chest. We inhale, find length, and we exhale, we bend in the knees, and we come back and we come down into Malasana, Yogic squat. Our feet are in a 45 degrees. You can place a block or a few blocks or cushions underneath your bum. You can also roll up your mat or place something underneath your heels if your heels can't touch the floor. Hands are in prayer mudra. Our elbows are in the inside of our legs or on top of our knees. We're grounding down through the feet, through our Padabandha, the 3 points of the foot. We're lifting through our spine, through our chest. We're pulling our knees back, but we're not pulling or pushing with our elbows. So we can still put our hands on the ground and still be in the posture. Finding your breath here, connecting with the earth, lifting through the crown of the head. Our spine is long and straight. So we're not compromising in the back, so we're not rounding our back too much. Taking a few more deep breaths here into Malasana. Hips slightly pull forwards and legs are pulling back. Inhale here and exhale. We slowly come back on our sit bones on the ground. Coming into a variation of Navasana. I can't remember the name right now for this posture. It's called hand to foot posture. You can lift your feet up, grabbing your big toes with your peace fingers, and our weight is in between our sit bone and our tailbone. So finding your balance here, breathing deeply. It's important here that we engage our core and that our spine is nice and long. We lift towards the chest, so our chest is open, lifting to the sky. Crown of the head is lifting to the sky. Closing your eyes or finding a soft gaze in front of you. Engaging the core, breathing deeply. Maybe you can play with straightening one leg, straightening the other leg. You can also use a strap. And maybe trying to play with coming into your full hand to toe posture. Finding your breath here, knowing that you don't have to take yourself too serious. And slowly placing your feet on the earth. Coming into Badrasana Pose. It's helpful to put your flesh away from under your sit bones. Our feet are touching, like so, and they open a little bit like a book. Our knees are pulling down towards the earth. They can also be up like this. They don't have to touch the earth at all. No goal in this pose to touch the earth. You can also place some support, some blocks or some pillows underneath your knees. Grabbing the toes with your hands, closing your eyes or finding a soft gaze. Grounding down through your sit bones. Bring your awareness to the base of your spine. Long straight spine here, reaching through the crown of the head. Deep breaths here. For me, this is one of my favorite postures actually. I can find a lot of grounding and stability when sitting in this posture. Coming into a seated meditation. Breathing deeply. Slowly we lift our knees back up. Coming, laying on our back. We're going to come into a gentle sublimation posture in supported bridge. So lying on your back, knees are bent, feet are on the earth. You can place your hands alongside your body and you can still tickle your heels with your fingers. Feet are parallel. We lift our hips up towards the sky and you can place some props underneath your hips as a support. You can place some cushions, pillows, blocks. You can build it as high as you need to. Finding a nice place to place your support underneath your hips. Taking a few moments to find an ideal height, what works for you. Taking some time to get comfortable. Here you can keep your feet on the earth or you can lift your feet up, your legs up towards the sky. If you have a wall nearby, you can also rest your legs to the wall. Knowing that your feet don't have to be up in the air to have sublimation in this posture. Remembering again that no variation of a posture is better than the other. Breathing deeply here. Finding your connection with your breath. Finding relaxation into the posture. Your hands can be alongside your body or on top of your belly, top of your heart. Maybe place a blanket on top of your body. Breathing deeply here. Deep belly breaths. Surrendering to whatever arises within you. And then letting it dissolve back within you. Breathing deeply. Staying here for a few more moments. On an inhalation, we slowly lift our hips up, taking the props from underneath our hips, placing our hips back on the floor, coming into happy baby. You can use a strap on your feet and then take the strap in your hand, like so. Or you can place your hands on your calf, on your ankles, or on the inside or the outside of the feet, coming into happy baby. Knees are bent, feet are flexed, and the sole of our foot is pointing towards the sky. Making sure that you relax into your upper body, relax into your shoulders, relax into your neck, in your head, the muscles of the face. And from here we can come into a rocking movement, like a baby in a crib, rocking side to side, following your breath, breathing deeply. You can go as slow or as fast as you like. Also knowing that you can stay still in this posture, you don't have to rock side to side if that doesn't feel right for you today. But if you're rocking side to side, try to find some playfulness into the posture. If you like, you can maybe straighten out your left leg as you rock towards your left side, straighten out your right leg as you rock to the right side. Rocking as a baby in a crib, a happy baby. Coming back into stillness, if you weren't already. Staying here for a few breaths, maybe finding a smile on your face. An inner smile. Now we can bring our knees back together, placing our knees to the right side of our body, onto our right hip. Knees are bent and we're gazing towards the opposite side, so towards the left side of our body. Hands can be out long or in cactus arms. Your right hand can also be on your heart, on your belly, on your legs. If this is too much on your neck, you can also gaze to the sky. Breathing deeply here into your spinal twists. Inhale, lifting your knees back up, shifting them towards the left side, shifting on your left hip, coming into your spinal twist on the right side. Gaze can be towards opposite sides or up to the sky. Try to take the same hand arm variation as you did on the first side. Finding your breath here, breathing deeply, connecting to this present moment. Inhale deeply and exhale. Coming back to center. Slowly straightening out our legs. Coming into our final posture, Shavasana. One of the most important postures, actually. So, to make yourself as much comfortable as you need to, you can place something underneath your knees to protect your knees. Maybe something underneath your hips, underneath your hands. I also invite you, if that feels right for you, to take a blanket on top of your body to stay warm. Legs have a little bit of distance between them. There's also a little bit of distance between your arms and your body, but not too much. Letting go of your Ujjayi breath. Letting go of your deep breaths, coming into a natural breath. Letting yourself sink deeply into the earth. Letting everything go. Melting like ice to water. Eyes are closed, or a soft gaze. Sinking into the floor. In yoga, they consider this to be one of the hardest postures. Because in this posture, there's no doing. There is just pure being. Dropping everything, surrendering to this present moment, melting into the floor. Your feet are soft and relaxed and sinking deep into the floor. Ankles are relaxed. Calf and shin relaxed. Knees are soft. They are releasing and sinking into the floor. Thighs are relaxed. Groin and hips relaxed. Butt cheeks are relaxed and sinking deeply into the floor. Bring your awareness to your lower back, relaxing into the floor. Middle back and back of the ribs are relaxing and melting into the floor. Shoulder blades are relaxed and melting into the floor. Shoulders are soft. Upper arms soft, softening through the elbows, wrists. Hands are soft and relaxed and sinking into the floor. Noticing the rising and falling of the breath in the belly. Belly is soft and relaxed. Ribs soft and relaxed. Noticing the rising and the falling of your chest. On every exhalation, sinking deeply into the floor. Relaxing through the collarbones, through the neck. Neck is soft. Your chin is soft. Cheeks are soft. Inside of the mouth. Your eyelids are as soft clouds on top of your eyes. Relaxing all the face, all the muscles in the face. Relaxing the forehead. Relaxing the whole head and letting the whole head sink deeply into the floor. Your whole body is sinking into the floor. Slowly deepening your breath. Finding movement into your toes, into the fingers. Slowly finding movement, maybe finding a stretch in your body. Tuning into your body in how it wants to move, how it wants to wake up. Deepening your breath. Knowing that you can stay here for as long as you like. Or you can come onto one side, taking a few more moments to breathe deeply. And then slowly, slowly, in your own time, you can come into a seated, comfortable position, keeping your eyes closed or a soft gaze. Moving slowly into your comfortable seated position. Breathing deeply. Placing your hands on top of your heart or into prayer mudra. Pressing our thumbs into our chest. Bowing to our heart, to our chest. Connecting with our breath, with our internal drum, our heartbeat. Maybe feeling your heartbeat in your thumbs. Connecting with your sankalpa one more time. While breathing deeply into the center of the chest. Taking some time to let some gratitude arise. Gratitude for someone in your life. for the divine all around us and within us, for Mother Nature. Gratitude for yourself, for taking this practice today, for taking time for yourself. Gratitude for all the yogis and all the sages that have come before us, that gave through this beautiful practice of yoga, that we are still practicing right now. Thank you for letting me guide you in this practice. I'm sending you all my love and all my gratitude. Wishing you all the best. Thank you for taking this practice. The light in me recognizes, honors, and saludes to you the light in you that is also within you. Namaste, my friends.